I backed my car into a cop car the other day. Well, he just drove off, sometimes life's okay. I ran my mouth off a bit too much, or what did I say? Well, you just laughed it off and it was all okay. And we'll all float on 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 anyway. Well, a fake Jamaican took every last dime with that scam. But it was worth it just to learn some sleight of hand. Bad news comes, don't you worry, even when it lands. The good news will work its way to all them plans. And we'll all float on okay. And we'll all float on okay. And we'll all float on okay. And we'll all float on alright. Already we'll all float on now. Don't you worry, we'll all float on alright. Already we'll all float on now. Don't you worry, we'll all float on alright.
So guys, that was Float On by Modest Mouse. I think it's the fourth one in this grade 1 of the rock and pop syllabus for Trinity for 2018. And I think it's fantastic that they're picking bands like Modest Mouse and the Black Keys, because there's an awful lot of young people, I think, that wouldn't have heard of bands like this, that are just great musicians writing fantastic songs. And the chances that someone will play this and learn this and then maybe look up Modest Mouse and hear some of their other songs, it's fantastic. So the piece itself, it's a little bit tricky in the changes that it has. It starts with what's called a 4 on the floor rock beat. And basically all that means is that you're hitting the bass drum 4 times on 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's a big solid fat bass drum traveling throughout that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That plays 3 times, and then on the 4th you have a little bit of a variation. It goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So the snare is hitting on the and, the 4, and the and in a row, giving it that nice solid beat. And then you're back to the 4 on the floor for 5, 6, and 7. And then on 8 we have a half bar fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all on the snare. Then on the chorus on bar 9 we're playing semiquavers on the hats. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Try and make sure when you're doing this, if you haven't done semiquavers on the hats before, that both hands look the same and mirror each other. You don't want a strong hand lopsiding your beat, because that can happen if you're right-handed and your left hand is a bit weak. The best way to practice this is just put it on loop, keep doing it, and make sure that that left hand looks like the right hand as it's playing. If it's staying lower, it's going to sound different. So try and mirror them off each other. Make the left hand look like the right hand if you're right-handed, and make the right hand look like the left hand if you're left-handed. So you want to mirror your strong hand. So bar 9 has all semiquavers, and bar 10 has a little bit of a switch. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4. And then the 2-bar phrase repeats for 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. Then on 15, it starts again. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4, and then a full bar fill. 1, 2, 3 and 4E, and bringing us into the verse. And on the verse, bar 17, we're going to start right back into that 4 on the 4 rock beat. Right, already, that kind of feel. 3 bars of that brings us into bar 20, that has the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 as a little bit of a variation on the end of the 4 bar. 21, 22, 23, repeat the 4 on the floor rock beat, and then on bar 24, we have our fill on the end of that 4-bar phrase. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a 4. So nice and flowy there with 21, 22, 23, 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a 4. Don't fall into the trap that I did when I played this the first time and played a bass drum underneath that. That has no bass drum with it. Straight back into a chorus then after that verse with the semiquavers on the hats. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. That repeats on 27, 28. 29 starts with a good solid crash. 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. And that brings us to 31, which is a repeat of that. And then on 32 we have a fill that goes 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and same rhythm around all the toms. Now, for some people they'll only have one rack tom. So my advice there is to keep what you're playing on the first rack tom and on the second rack tom all on the first rack tom. So let's say I didn't have a second rack tom here, I'd be playing that fill 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then if you get the opportunity to play on a kit with 2 rack toms, you can then switch it to second rack tom for the 3 E and. Now we're back into a 4 on the floor on bar 33. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeating on 34 and 35, and 36 has 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just that one little extra snare on the and. 37, 38, 39 has our 4 on the floor repeated again. And then our final fill of the piece, no bass drum, rack tom 1 E and a, second rack tom 2 E and a, floor tom 3 E and a 4, and then nice and final one single hit on bass drum and crash together 1, rest on 2, 3 and 4. That's your playthrough of Float On. It's a great song. It's got a good fat feel to it. Not many quiet sections in it. It's quite full on for the whole thing, but it's really solid in its beat because of all that bass drum that it has in all the verses. It's continual throughout the piece, so it's a really good solid piece. My advice is to learn it as quickly as you can with the backing track, because that's what's going to make it really lock together and feel like it works. Guys, if you got this far in the video, thank you for watching. I hope to get my way pretty quickly through all of the exam pieces in the grade 1. I'd already done a couple of, I think it were the grade 4 pieces. So I'm going to do all the grade 1s. And when I have those done, try and get to grade 2s and the grade 3s, finish off the grade 4s and just move my way up the syllabus. As you can imagine, there's a good bit of work involved in not just recording these, but editing these and uploading them and hoping that they'll get a bit of traction. So if you like what I do, try and support me by sharing this video around. It actually helps to just drop a comment as well, because if there's a bit of a discussion around a video, it gets I suppose promoted by YouTube a little bit more, and the more support we can get on these kind of videos, the easier it's going to be for us to keep making them. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.